September 17th is Constitution Day. The Constitution is the highest law of the United States. All our laws come from the Constitution. The Constitution does many things. It creates our government and declares how it works. The Constitution creates the presidency, creates Congress, and creates the Supreme Court. The Constitution can be changed if need be. The Constitution is changed by what is called an amendment. The first 10 amendments were special. They are called the Bill of Rights. Over time, the Constitution has been amended 27 times. The Constitution was written in 1787, which makes it over 230 years old. The master copies are preserved at the National Archives in Washington, D.C. Since 1781, when the United States won its independence from Britain, the country had operated under a document called the Articles of Confederation, but things had not gone very well. A change was needed, and from May to September 1787, a group of men representing the states that then existed met in Philadelphia to find a better way of running the country. Later, this meeting came to be called the Constitutional Convention. The men who attended the convention were later known as the Framers. Many of them were famous right up to the present day. They included Benjamin Franklin, James Madison, George Washington, Roger Sherman, and Alexander Hamilton. At first, some at the convention wanted only to fix the Articles of Confederation, but ultimately it was decided instead to replace it with an all-new Constitution. When they wrote the Constitution, the framers knew it was not perfect, so a process was created that allowed changes or addition, which were called amendments. The amendment process was used to create the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments. The amendments in the Bill of Rights are extremely important. The First Amendment, for instance, affirms free speech and freedom of the press. The Fourth Amendment protects our rights against unlawful search and seizure. The Sixth Amendment guarantees a person charged with a crime to a speedy public trial by jury. And the Eighth Amendment forbids the use of cruel or unusual punishment. Throughout our history, the amendment process has proved time and again how valuable it is. The 13th Amendment, for instance, which was ratified in 1865, outlawed slavery. The 14th Amendment says that anyone born here is a citizen of the United States. And the 15th Amendment guaranteed the right of black people to vote. The 19th Amendment, which passed in 1920, guaranteed women the right to vote nationwide. There have been a total of 27 constitutional amendments ratified. The 27th, passed in 1992, keeps members of Congress from giving themselves pay raises during the current session. As we have seen, the Constitution sets up our government. It is divided into three branches. First is the legislative branch, which is Congress, made up of the House of Representatives and the Senate. The second is the executive branch, meaning the presidency. The third is the judicial branch, the United States Supreme Court. Each branch has its own special role in how the law is made and used. The legislative branch, Congress, makes the laws. The Senate is made up of 100 senators, 2 from each of the 50 states. There are 2 senators from each state who are elected by the people. The people from each state also elect those who serve in the House of Representatives. Currently, there are 435 representatives in the House. Legislation that is introduced must pass both the Senate and the House of Representatives before it becomes law. The executive branch, the presidency, carries out the laws and is headed by the president. The executive branch also includes the vice president and the secretaries of all the departments, such as the Department of Education and the Department of Defense. The last branch is called the judicial branch. The judicial branch includes all the federal courts, all the way up to the United States Supreme Court. All the states have their own court systems as well, and the state courts are under the national courts. The role of the judicial branch is to interpret the law. The United States Constitution is as important today as it was in 1787 and remains the oldest written constitution still in use anywhere in the world.